Hey, Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com, and we know the cold temperatures are coming. Not what we want to hear in South Texas, but let me tell you, it's getting cold all over the U.S., and I want to put out some tips and hints and things about neoprene and wetsuits and staying warm and things that I just simply do and learned over the years. Now, I want to talk a little bit about gear. Now, when you get into the wetsuits, a lot of the older wetsuits, if you have an older type wetsuit, what actually happens in neoprene is it begins to get dry and brittle. Now, you really won't see a lot of this, but let me tell you, when you put on a wetsuit, an older type wetsuit, and you go to move, you will absolutely feel what I'm talking about. As a wetsuit gets older and it starts to dry out and it just sits there and it's not used over the summertime and it's not well taken care of, they will begin to stiffen up. And when that stiffening up does, it just makes you tired a lot. So remember, a wetsuit only has a certain amount of life to it, definitely more than a few years. Taking care of it, keeping it clean is very important to the neoprene. Don't leave that salinity, that salt. If you're in salt type water, take care of that suit. Get that thing cleaned out, get the water hose, soak it in a bucket, soak it in the bathtub, whatever you want, the sink. Definitely get that salt out of there. As the water evaporates, salt can get left in very small pores of that neoprene, and it matters. It absolutely matters, and a lot of people don't realize it till their suit begins to stiffen up. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't keep you as warm. So remember, take care of your neoprene. But the neoprene nowadays is phenomenal. The stretch and everything that goes into the design of the neoprene and the suits nowadays have completely changed. Nowadays, when you go into sizing, it's not as important as it used to be back, I say years ago, 10, 15 years ago. The suits now have so much stretch to them, you can get real close in the size that you need, and they will work perfectly because, you get this new type of neoprene that's coming in most of these suits, and you used to be able to stretch these a little. Now these things are unreal. How much this stuff stretches. It's like having a second skin on you. It's just amazing, and I love it when I get somebody that comes in, gets a new wetsuit, gets out on the water. It changes everything. Your muscles are not as tired because the squeezing and the restriction on that you have to keep it warm on your body. This is like a second layer of skin, and it feels so good nowadays. So I want to talk about that. The neoprene has changed, so if you're ever looking at upgrading a suit, it's definitely worth it. It's well worth it getting out in the water when you're warm, because when you're out there and it's cold, it's no fun. I do not like it. I love being warm, and I like to have a nice comfortable suit, and it's well worth it when you do it. So when I get out there, I like to layer up at different times. So when I'm out there in the spring or the fall and I just want that nice layer, this is something I will not do without. And these are these small 1.5, 2 mil, can go upwards of 3. I don't have a 3. It's usually in the 2 range. These toppers are excellent. I absolutely will not be without one of these, and definitely a long sleeve. This keeps that core warmth. If you keep your core warm, that keeps your extremities warm. It's very important. So layering and making sure your chest and your extremities are all as warm as you can be. Ion has another nice one. These are well worth spending the money on too. There's some cheapies that don't have a lot of stretch to them, and it's not as comfortable, and they won't last as long. These things will last for years, you taking care of them. And they're used in so many different applications in the layering. So here's the Ion. You can see how stretchy this is. These are really nice. They're made to be slim around the sides here, and that makes a difference as well, because you think about wearing your wetsuit, you don't want those wrinkles and layers in between you and the wetsuit. So the first thing I recommend is a topper. These things, as again, are fantastic. I use mine in combination many times with my other suits. I'll take my topper, you take a simple spring suit like this, where I want to stay a little bit warmer. I'm okay that my legs are out. It's just a simple spring suit. You can put that over the top of these and make them really warm. It just adds that extra layer of warmth, but you're not going into the full suit yet. So I got my topper, I've got a simple spring suit. Mine is not long sleeve because I wear my, if I need to be warmer, I wear the layer underneath my simple topper on there. The other thing that I really enjoy is these new beanies. These things are great. If you can keep the top of your head warm, that matters. You lose a lot of heat out of the top of your head. And these new neoprene beanies are, again, everything is so stretchy and so comfortable. And they'll come, make sure that you want to get the one, almost every single one of them. We don't carry one that doesn't come down clearly over your ears. That's real important to get right at the bottom of those ears, keeping that head warm, and really nice. These also have attachments in here. You can see these little bungees. Don't forget, strap these to the strap on the back of the wetsuit. A lot of these wetsuits have the zipper pulls, or a link-in loop. You want to connect this to that just in case you hit and these get knocked off your head. Get that connected to you. But the neoprene topper is really nice for your head. Now the other thing is getting really cool, a lot of technology's gone into, are these gloves nowadays. We used to have gloves that restricted so much of your grip when you grab the bar or whatever you're doing out there sailing or anything, and they used to be so restrictive to stay in a grip, but now they've got them completely shaped just like it, so when you put these on, the shape is already there. There is no wrinkles between you and the bar or whatever you're gripping in windsurfing, kiting, sailing, whatever it may be out there in the water paddling. They've got them, and they're fantastic. They're sealed out around edges to keep that water directly off of your fingers and keep it warm. Now the other last thing to cover is your booties. Booties are really important. There's different things. You can get the purpose of staying warm, or you can get the purpose of protecting your feet, or kind of vice versa. Booties are a good protection. These are the high tops, and you can see the reason this is here is because it puts the wetsuit over the top, or these over the top, and keeps that layer from hitting you, on your feet or on your legs in between that suit. Another tip that you want to do and make sure that if you do booties like this is it's real important to have drain holes coming down the back of your suit. Right up on your calf area. Let's see, here's a full suit. Right in here, this is the NP suit. These are really nice, and you can see these holes right here. These are here for a purpose. They're just above where you put a strap across here, or where your booty would come up to. You want these holes, because what happens is you are going to get water slightly inside of a suit, and there's only one direction it goes, and that is down towards your legs. So that needs to get out of there. You'll get these balloon type legs down here. So you want to make sure that you have holes. If your suit right now does not have these holes, simply go get a leather punch. That's the best thing. Double your suit over right on the back side and punch them. And if you punch more than a few holes in here, that will drain that water out, and you won't get that big old leg buildup of water, which will always drain down over time as you're out there riding. Now, it is decreased in these new type of suits, and again, the reason is it's the stretching. They stay so close to your body, there's not much void in there, but a little bit of water will always go down there, so having those holes right above the booty strap. So if you have a low top booty, you don't have to worry about it as much, but these high tops, you want to make sure that you have something that drains, or that water's going into your booties, into your legs, and it becomes a pain in the butt. So definitely pay attention to that, putting the straps on. Now the last couple things that I want to mention is suits. You will have these things like a impact type vest. This is a Dakine. Here's the Nash. And I tell you, a lot of guys get out there, and wearing these is like another layer. It's like wearing that vest when you're in the winter. Having another warm layer and protection on you is really important. Again, it's the core. Keeping your core warm matters throughout your whole body, and allows that blood distribution to keep you a lot warmer at your extremities, your toes, your ears, your hands, whatever it is. So a simple another little layer could be like an impact type vest. A neoprene one is real good, because again, it's that layer. It gets tight on you, and it definitely layers and keeps you a little bit warmer. The last thing in the last more than a few years coming up with that I do not ever want to be without is the jacket. These neoprene jackets. If you're out somewhere where it's really cold, this is the quickest way to put on a layer and ride with this if you want to. A lot of these are designed now to have your harness and your hook hole through here, but they're so warm. When you get out of that water and you're freezing cold and you want something really quick to throw on to keep warm, or again, ride with it. A lot of guys are riding because if any water gets in, it drains out, but it just stops all that wind. It has an excellent hood on here. We have other videos about this. Definitely look it up. It is phenomenal. This hood follows you as you're looking. It doesn't close off your view. Fantastic thing. Again, that's from Ion. Now, the other little tip that's not here that I want to tell everybody that I really like to do, when you get out there and you're ready to go, one of my tricks that I learned from someone else many years ago when I used to race sailboats is get a 5-gallon water jug. Go to one of the stores, hardware store, Walmart, whatever it is. It's made for water. Get a nice plastic 5-gallon water jug. And I take that thing and fill it with the hottest bathtub water I can get when I leave the house. Usually I'll wrap my suit around it and leave it in the truck. When I get off of that water, anytime if I feel a chill coming to me, because I don't have a lot of insulation here, as you can tell, so I get pretty cold. So I take that water and pour it down in my suit, and you want to talk about a relief. That is such a fantastic thing that I was shown many years ago. And I tell you, after you do that a few times, put on one of these jackets, hang out a little bit, I'm ready to get back on the water, even when it's really cold. So it quickly warms up your core, warms up your body, gets that blood flowing again. So anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com to just try to educate you a little bit more, to keep you warm on the water. And the main thing is, if you have any questions about suits, what should you do? Promise you, give us a call here. We've got a lot of guys. We're always out in the water, and we can give you the tips, the hints to get the right suit, get the right gear so you have fun on the water. Anyway, that's Jeff Howard here at Kiteboarding.com.